Number 9, do everything you can to live under the same roof as a couple. I'm seeing so many of our singles who get married, and this person is living here, the other person is living there. And I'm like, what is this? Young couples, the stress that can cause you. And if you watch my series on my journey from courtship to life after honeymoon, I don't know which episode, I share some of the things that, you do at the early stages of your marriage. Because you're under the same roof, you can do so much. You can make some good memories. And if you're living apart, it can be very difficult for you to do all those things. There was a dream that I had. I actually shared a dream on the Married with a Life WhatsApp group. That was on the 16th of May, 2019. So it's almost 3 years now. And the Lord showed me something about living apart and why people were living apart, and he wanted me to address it. So I addressed it on the WhatsApp group. Today, when I was preparing for this message, it came to my mind. I believe it was just the Holy Spirit impressing it on my heart to touch on it again. So some people live apart because they are living in different countries. Some of them, because of visa issues, they are not able to come back home frequently, or some have never come back home. I was following a live broadcast of a man of God we love so much, and there's a woman who hasn't seen her husband for 21 years. And there was another man, he's getting old, he's not seen his wife for 18 years. How do you live like that? The visa issues can really cause problems. But let me share the dream. I'll read the dream the way I saw it, and then we'll look at what the Lord wants us to do. So I just literally went and copied this message from the WhatsApp group. So this is what I said to them on the 16th of May, 2019. In the dream, I saw a lot of young couples I know, and some I do not know. And when I started talking with them, I discovered that most of them were living apart. In the first scene of the dream, the setting was that of a working environment, which I believe God is saying couples are living apart because of work, which can be a danger to their marriage. Second scene, I saw couples living in their parents' home because they have to take care of one parent. In the scene, it was the man who had moved to the wife's parents' home. However, although he knew it was not the best, he was okay with it, and it was not too much of an issue. The last scene was that the lady refused to leave her place of abode to come stay with her husband when they got married. She's just fine where she is and can't seem bothered about the man. The husband in this scene was very disturbed and angry about the whole situation and giving the lady an ultimatum to move. The impression I had here is that some women are refusing to submit to the vision and leadership of their husband, and these can lead to the breakup of the marriage. God is showing me this because this is not his plan for marriages, and especially Mwalians. The Mwa vision is to produce better marriages than what we currently see in our generation. Therefore, if Mwalians are to fall victims to what was revealed in this dream, it means they are falling outside of God's plan for them. Let's look at the interpretation of the solution for the scene 1. This is where sometimes I say that people don't do their homework well. So I'm talking more to the singles now. You know that you are living in Navrongo, the other person is living in Wale Wale. I don't even know how far apart they are. Just give an example. You know it. Whilst in the relationship, you know it. Before you get married, try to sort these things out. Don't tell yourself that it's okay for us to live apart. You will not enjoy your marriage. The solution that we have for you is that you should agree this year. Do your best. Start working on plans to live together. So agree on one city you want to live in. Maybe let's assume that the guy is in Kumasi, the woman is in Koforidia. Or the guy is in London, The woman is in Manchester. Decide which of the cities you want to live in. Maybe you don't want to live in any of the cities. Agree. Maybe you want to go and live in Liverpool, or you want to go and live in Dartford. Plan. Take some time out, go and explore the city, and then start praying that God should open a job opportunity there for you. So it means that you also have to actively start searching for a job. Whilst you are living apart, start searching for a job in that city. And once you get a job, you move to that city. And then compromise if it works. You've got to compromise. So, for example, we know that most of the time it's the woman that follows the man to his home. It's just because of the transfer of power. When you get married, your father says, I am the one that gives this woman in marriage. He has literally transferred power to your husband. So it means that he cannot keep you in his home. You have to now follow your husband. So that's why we follow our husbands to their house, okay? Or both of you decide to find a place and live together. However, sometimes because of the situation, you've got to compromise as a man. So let's assume that the wife is earning a lot of money, okay? Her job pays her more, maybe 5 times more than you are paid as a man. Don't say that, well, I'm the man, you have to come and live with me. When you know that you actually need this money, because the money is helping you guys to build, to establish. So you can compromise, you can put your pride down and sacrifice. It's a sacrifice. A marriage is all about sacrifice. Okay, it's a sacrifice. So you sacrifice and then decide that you find a job where she lives. And because she's earning more, it means that maybe even if you go and live there with her and you don't find a job quickly, you still probably will be fine. Okay, so you can decide to go and find a job opportunity where she lives, the city where she lives. You may not want to move into her apartment. You can find a different house within that city and live there. It makes things easier for you. Sometimes the man's money is enough to cater for 2 people, cater for your children, take care of all the bills, and you'll be fine. Okay, if that is the case, then the woman, it doesn't matter the position you have at your work. But sometimes that is the problem. People feel like, I'm the manager here, people respect me, I have so many favors here, I can't leave the job. I can't leave this job. I love this job. I love it. I love it. And because of that, you are there. You are not willing to move and you go enjoy your husband because of a job. Remember, the job is not for you. The company is not for you. They can sack you at any time. So you can't lose on both sides. You can't keep your job and be losing your marriage. And then one day your boss, the owner of the company comes, they're like, we have problems. We are going to close down this company. What would you do? If the woman, your husband is doing well, you can also sacrifice and say, okay, for the sake of my marriage, let me let this job go. Go and live with your husband. Start finding a job in the city that he lives. And I'll tell you the dangers of living apart. The sin 2 is to do with the woman who didn't want to leave her house. And again, this is something that if you are single, you should discuss it. So whilst you are dating, you've gone to visit the lady. Maybe she's a career woman. She's doing well. She's bought this house. She's living there. Her house is 100 times better than where you are. Maybe you are even renting and the lady is doing well. You have to make these discussions, discuss. So when we get married, what's going to happen to this house? Are you going to sell this house? Or are you going to rent it out and come and live with me? Or what's the plan? Discuss it. Know where you two are going to live. If you want to go and live in the lady's house, you are married, so it belongs to both of you now. Everything you have is for both of you. Unless you are the typical woman or people who says, my money is my money, his money is his money. Well, that is not biblical, so I don't buy it. If you wait and then you get married and it becomes an issue, it means that you didn't do your homework well. You did not. You cannot blame the devil for any problems you're having now. There are some families, they have like a big compound. They allocate a room to each person, or it can be an apartment. This is your own apartment. This is your brother's apartment. This is your sister's apartment. and people get comfortable there. So when they get married, they're like, I'm not moving an inch from this house. This is where I'll be living all the days of my life. And it becomes a problem when they get married. So when they get married, obviously the man doesn't want to come and live in the house with you. And you, the woman, you have to submit and move and go and live with your husband. Maybe the woman feel my place is better than yours. I don't want to come and live in your place. Okay, fair enough. Can we find a different place whereby both of us are happy with and move there? Find a place where you both like and move to that place. For the woman who is living in a family house and doesn't want to move, the first thing you need to know is that that house is not yours. It's your family house. It's your father's house. It is not yours. Unless it was built and the document was handed to you and your name is on it, so it belongs to you. But even that, don't let it stand between your marriage. Some people are losing their marriages because of that. You've so much cleaved to your father's house. Ideas that can help you. You can rent out this house or the room. It even gives you an opportunity to have regular income coming in. I actually had a dream about something like this recently. One of our Mwalians, it was to do with this whole family house thing. And interestingly, the problem is because it's a family house, it even affected their sexual life because people are everywhere. So during the day, they can't have sex. They have to have sex when everybody's asleep. Can you imagine? Young couple, when your sexual hormones are active, you can't have enough of each other. You now have to wait and time everybody. So you be time you go and see, are they sleeping? Are they awake? And then when they go to bed, it doesn't make sense. Don't put yourself in that kind of bondage. And actually the dream, God was giving me instructions to speak to him about that and for him to break out of the family house because it was limiting him. Get out and move in with your husband. If you've tried to convince a lady to follow you so that you find a place that you both like and live and that for her to rent out the house, if it's a house in a name, she can sell it. If all else fails, try and get somebody that she can listen to and bring the person into the situation. I don't like the fact that people need to come into your marriage and be sitting you down, talking to you and blah, blah. We've never done that by the grace of God. Nobody has had opportunity to do that. But sometimes if you have to, you can find somebody who the lady will listen to and then get them in to speak to the lady. After doing all of that, she's not ready, then just know that you've married an unsubmissive wife. And actually you should have known before you married her. Let's look at the first scene. This is a scene whereby the man had to move into the woman's parents' house because one of the parents was sick. And so they felt like the best way they can take care of the parents is to live there. The second scene is really not a problem because the man is not breaking living and cleaving rules. So the Bible says that a man will leave his father and mother and be cleaved to his wife. So if the man was now going to live with his wife in his father's house or in his mother's house, then he will be breaking the rules of living and cleaving. It will go against biblical principles. And I've always said that when you break biblical principles, they will break you. So you've got to guard against that. But this time around, he's not going to his parents' house, he's come to the woman's house. So it's not a big deal. It's not a problem. Okay. However, because of the transfer of power, which requires the woman to follow the man to his home, if they now live in the wife's parents' home for too long, they will never be fulfilled. It's important that as a couple, you understand that you can't establish yourself there. You can't, because sometimes when you get there, because you're not paying rent and you feel so relaxed and you think that you'll be fine there. No, it is not the best. But it's a sensitive matter, and it's because it's a circumstantial issue. It's because somebody's sick. You have to show them love. Normally, when people are sick like that, the best person to really take care of them is their family members, because you know them, you understand, they feel more loved by that. But sometimes it's not possible for family members to take care of them. So the first thing, if you're going to do such a thing, the first thing you have to ask yourself is, how long are we going to be here? There are some people, they are sick, but it's just the sickness, maybe within 6 months, they get well, or they are in a better position to take care of themselves. So then you can leave after 6 months or after a year. But there are some situations too, it's a long term. You know that this person is not really going to get better. It keeps deteriorating. It keeps getting worse. And you know, because of the type of sickness. So with that, you can't, if you want to leave, you can't live there for the rest of your life as a couple, because you can't really establish, you can't do much. It will affect your relationship. It will affect your progress. And I said earlier on, it's sensitive because they are your parents. You need to take care of them, but you have to tackle it wisely. Got to be wise about it. So one of the things you can do, you can pay somebody to take care of them. There are people who are professionally qualified to handle cases like that. They may even be able to take care of them better than you because they are trained. Okay, you are not trained, so they may be able to take care of them better. So can you pay somebody to go and live in the house and take care of them? If you can, then go for that option. And if you are living in the UK or in countries whereby the government can step in, sometimes depending on the sickness, you can get government grants. You can apply for it, and then they move that parent to a care home whereby the government can help subsidize the cost, or sometimes they can even pay everything. You don't have to pay a penny. They'll be there, and then qualified, trained people will be taking care of them. So in that case, if the person is in a care home, you have to visit them. So you can visit them frequently, depending on your schedule. If it's very convenient, you can visit them every day, and if the care home allows it. Nowadays, because of the COVID, they may have restrictions on how long you can stay when you go and how often you can go. But the whole thing is, ensure that you are visiting them. Okay, at least once a week you should be there to visit them, play with them, and just let them feel your presence. So those are the suggestions if you are in a situation like that. This is a very sensitive topic, especially when you have to take care of a family member. Now, let me look at the dangers of staying apart.